Okay, so picking up from last time then. Let me just get my notes up. Journal. Nope. Session notes. There we are. Right. So, where's the session 8? Was it right? Okay. So session 8. First of all, welcome everyone to the game. Everyone that's watching on the stream, and to everyone who is watching afterwards on YouTube. We're picking up on session 9 of this campaign. I'm just going to bring a quick notes thing up, just to give a quick recap, just in case people are a little bit unsure of what's gone on so far. Okay. So the party have moved from the most recent battleground to the strange looking stone symbol off the side of the road, and managed to figure out its purpose finally. Though some trial and error, but nevertheless they managed to find a means of a quick way of travelling between the road camp and the coal plains at will. This will come in handy pretty soon, though Cade, it seemed, had other plans and returned to the road encampment on his own. After this amazing discovery, the party move further along the eastern road, where they are set upon by 3 large, brutish, gargantuan beasts. Although very powerful in stature and strength, they cause very little trouble to most of the party, and are dealt with efficiently by the smart use of a single sleep spell, believe it or not, cast by the necromancer Francis. Once the monstrous beasts were dealt with, Livia took it upon herself to remove the hides, and in some ways has managed to get the flesh from them as well. In the meantime, Ira has found herself some nice new shiny gems from the nearby mining area. The party have been travelling back and forth, fighting monster after monster and battling the harsh weather conditions for several hours now. Some, if not all, are starting to feel a little tired out, and so one by one they've all headed back to the rogue encampment via the newly activated waypoint. Once they're back at camp, they each split off to do their own thing. Some trade with the traders, others seek out information, or try to scent themselves through meditation. But regardless of whatever activities are undertaken whilst they are in town, eventually they agree to meet up in the morning after each one gets some much needed rest. Okay. Day 2 arrives, and we will put everybody in the road encampment for now. There's a few minor additions to the map itself. As you will see, guys, we've now got a few extra animations that I've managed to pick up and placed on the map. We've now got a lit fire, as it is now drawing towards the night in camp. Things are starting to settle down a lot more. The traders are starting to pack up and get ready to have a night's sleep. The waypoint, as you can see, is now active and crackles with that blue energy that I mentioned earlier. So we have now Francis is busy meditating over by the fire currently, so he will stay as he is. Cash is also sat by the fire, fashioning his, what we like to call, damage crown. He will most likely be taking his time to do that, and then he will head off to bed with it, the same as everyone else. Cade, you are already currently sleeping, so there's not much for you to do at this point. So, Livia and Ira, What is it you wish to do?
Well, this is all before bed, right?
This is all before sleeping. Yeah.
Can I just have a quick chat with Warav about prospecting?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you approach Warif. I mean, he's not stood far from you anyway, as he's trying to stay warm by the fire as well. He does have his back to you at this point, as he's rifling through a few wares, a few chests and so on, and boxes and crates to keeping an eye on the stock levels for the camp. And he's busy doing that. So, what would you like to do?
You said it's the evening, yes?
Yeah, it's drawing into the evening time. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to pull out the pickaxe I would have from the mining kit.
Yep, sure.
And just sort of have that held in one hand. I'll say, good evening, Warav. Do you have a spare moment?
Alright, no problem. What can I do for you?
And sort of like holding the pickaxe up just a little bit and sort of say, I was wondering if you could give me any tips on using these. I've found myself becoming quite enamored with the idea of mining for gems. I've had moderate success up until now, but was hoping to perhaps improve my chances going forward.
Okay. How do you mean improve your chances? What exactly are you trying to do here?
I was wondering if maybe you had any tips on form. Admittedly, I've never done this before. This wasn't something prospecting, I believe. I've heard people around the camp refer to. It's not something we did back in the homeland. So I'm just kind of, how you say, winging it. So I was wondering if you had any tips for form, like how to hit the rock better.
Let me see. He takes a look at your pickaxe, just gives it a quick glance over, and he says, "Show me whereabouts you, or how you are holding your pickaxe. Maybe this might help if you got a better swing motion to it. There are certain places where you can hold it, which will give you a better motion with the swing. Should make it a lot easier for you in the long run. You won't be putting so much effort into each swing. So yeah, just tell me about whereabouts you want to, or where you've been holding the haft of the pickaxe, and I will try and guide you a little bit better."
Okay. So I demonstrate to him how I do like a swinging motion. I have my left hand right at the base.
Yep.
Of the stick, and one towards the top, so quite near.
Yep.
The pick itself, and then I sort of lean it back so it's not an overhead swing, it's to the side.
Right.
Like in kind of like a diagonal, like a 45-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
And then sort of swing down like that.
Okay. As soon as he sees you do it, he stops you and says, I can see what you mean. Yeah. It's clear that you're not used to this. Here, let me show you. Here, Maya, and he asks for your pickaxe.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hand it over.
Okay. And he almost mimics, very similar to where you hold the handle on with both your hands. Only he holds it down further away from the head of the pickaxe, and also does a fully vertical swing instead of at an angle, so that he uses the full momentum and gravity against the rock that you will be hitting. Obviously, there's nothing here for you to hit, but in general, you just got to imagine that there is.
Yeah.
It says, I think you should try this. There's definitely an issue with the way that the form that you're using, and you're almost there. But I think this will give you much better results in general. So try to do that from now on, and you should find that you will get get results. And he hands it back to you.
I take it back off. Thank you, Rav. I will.
Anytime.
I will use that. I will use this method next time.
Okay.
That's all.
Oh, and one more thing. A good thing to do is also to guide the axe down as you swing, and then bring the hand that is closest to the head, bring it back down slightly towards the other hand of the handle, so you're almost holding it like a sword or a weapon. But just before you manage to hit the rock, just pull your hand just back down towards the other one, and you will be holding it a lot more firmly, and that should help as well for you.
Oh, I see. So, kind of like this. So I've got my left hand on the base again, and the right hand where he showed me, and then sort of just kind of so I like drag it down gently.
Yeah.
On the
in one motion. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So my hands would end up like here.
They would be both together. Yeah. Eventually in the full swing. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Rav. I sort of
no problem.
Nod respectfully and leave, sort of mimicking that motion on the pickaxe of just the hand going from the top to the bottom, sort of like getting the feel of it.
So you're picking it up already. Good job. Let me know if you need any more help. I'll try and do the best I can.
Indeed.
As a result, you're going to have a % chance to get a flawed gem when you do any mining from now on.
Sweet.
Okay. Right. So, Livia.
Well, I spent most of the time before sleep selling the pelts and shit like that.
Okay. So do you just want to call it a night then? As it will start drawing late.
Yeah, I'd maybe even as hard as it is for me, try to catalog some of the information of the couple of fights that we had, like in my book.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Do you want to do that as you're laying in your bunk or something, and just fall asleep when you do?
Yeah, it's more like what did I experience today? What creatures? What did I, learn from the fights during the day, and finish up my book.
Yeah, no
or
problem.
At least the parts of the information that I've gathered during the last, I guess, 24 hours here in this hellhole.
Yeah, it's been quite a day for you guys. Did I send you all the details? If not, I will send them to you. Via Discord.
No, but I think I have most of the info already.
Great.
From the stuff that we fought enough for me to get a good idea of.
Okay, fantastic. So you jot all that down into your a journal, notepad, whatever you want to call it, and I guess that's the last thing you know. You're nice and comfy in a... Go on.
I do fashion my damage crown.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, you've all got...
I realized I'm the holder of the damage crown with currently 29 points of damage, and I don't have one yet.
That's right. You have a figurative one at the moment.
Yeah, Livia doesn't have a very intricate crown as such.
Okay.
But it is... she took one or two of the arrows that she'd used, which are beyond repair, so like the feathers aren't on there properly anymore, the shaft is slightly damaged and stuff, and kind of with a bit of twine makes herself less of a crown and more of a type of a tiara.
Yeah, nice.
With like the two arrows kind of going around in a circle above on her head, and then crossing. Mm-hmm. I'll see if I can find something for her to give a better idea at some point. But it's a very basic idea, and it's more of a tiara than a crown.
Yeah,
but
no worries.
It conveys the message.
We do call it a crown, but it can be a headdress. Anything you want.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
As long
more
as
her
as long as
style.
it's obvious. Okay. Well, if you're happy, are you heading off after doing that then, or?
Yeah, after that and like the selling and everything, I'm pretty exhausted, so I'm gonna take a nap.
That's fair enough. Okay. So.
Can someone remind me, did I make my damage crown last session?
Yes, you did. I believe you done it through Druidcraft.
Yes.
You made it
It was
out
just
of
like
twigs and berries and vines and
Yeah,
so on.
yeah. It was also, I just reminded me because one was also a tiara.
Yeah, no problem.
We're gonna have matching accessories. It's gonna be great.
Oh, it's gonna be so awesome. I mean, what?
Anything for my queen.
Oh, darling.
Wasn't talking about you.
Yeah, you were talking about the twins.
Or one of them.
I mean, they look the same.
That doesn't mean they are the same.
It's true. It's true.
Just do them both.
Yeah, the only slight difference between the two is one has blue eyes, the other one has hazel coloured eyes. That's the only difference. They're the same height, same build, sound the same. Okay.
But yeah, that kind of wraps up my to do before passing out.
No problem. Okay. Right. So Ira.
Yes.
Are you doing anything else before you turn in?
No.
Okay.
I just went by a quick chat with Bareth, and then I was going to turn in for the night.
Okay. So where Cade is at this point, he's over there, in the makeshift barracks, where the rogues all sleep, and it is big enough for all of them, and also all the party as well. The NPCs that are dotted around the area generally have their own abodes that they've built or had built for them, so this is just a party, adventurer's tent sort of thing. So you finally get to the point where you lay down and you start to relax, Ira.
Mhm.
You start thinking about home and how everyone is and what's going on there. You left in a slight hurry, but you felt that it was the right thing to do. As you become more and more relaxed, more so than what you would thought you would ever do in a place so far away from home, and your eyes start to close. You get to a point where you just fully go unconscious, and maybe about after 10 minutes or so, when you're just slipping into a nice deep sleep, you hear in the back of your mind, Ira. Ira, wake up, innocent one. You awaken in a place far from where you fell asleep. The close confines of the rogue encampment are gone, and in its place, an all too familiar location. You are back at the Grove, and a familiar voice is calling out to you. For but a moment, you are filled with joy and confusion in both equal quantities. Not knowing how you got here, or even why you are here again so soon. Yet there you lay, under the great boughs, laying in the foliage and soaking in the warm embrace of the great elder mother who looms overhead. Slowly you begin to right yourself and take a look around. And for a brief second in time, everything feels good again. You are around those you know and seeing sights you regularly see. Each and every blade of grass down to the tiniest pebble along the local riverbed. You know this land. You can feel its energy, its life force, and nothing makes you happier to see it flourish. The voice comes again. Ira, My dear sweet child, hear me. You hear the voice inside of your head, as you have done so many times before now. Only this time the voice seemed a little different than usual. Something had changed, but you don't know what. There's a slight hint of worry and caution in the words this time, and not the usual calm and soothing speech.
What's happening?
What do you do? So you're currently just basically laying at the roots of the grandmother tree.
Would this is a question? Would I refer to this as mother?
Generally, yes, you would. This tree is believed to be not just a normal tree, as you know. It is huge. It is like a world tree, and it is full to the brim of ancestral spirits, and one in particular would have been the Mother Nature. Which is where all your druid craft and so on comes from.
Mother, I'm home.
The voice comes again. Ira, look up, my child. Gaze upon my form. You are home, yet you are not home. Your body lies miles from here in a dark and corrupted land, but I have brought you, spirit, to me because I need to show you something, which is of great importance. Look west, my child. Look towards the mighty Mount Ariat. And one of the branches, as if moving like an arm, stretches out towards the west direction, basically.
I follow the direction of the branch. I see the mountain, Mother.
As you turn to face the snow-topped peak of Mount Ariat, you hear an almighty cracking sound. Then an echoing boom follows after. You watch as the mountain begins to crack apart down the middle of one side, great pillars of fire tearing it asunder from within. The snow and ice situated near the top begins to melt, becoming an avalanche within moments, and grows in size until very soon a giant tsunami is created. Water crashes down the steep rocky cliffs, picking up speed, growing in size and destroying anything it touches in its path. In such a short amount of time, the giant wave has covered a great distance, and now, at high speed, it comes ever closer to the Skosglin. You start to hear screams of panic as the resident druids there, adults and children, see this huge wall of water coming straight for them. Your heart begins pounding in your chest, sweat beads begin to form on your brow, and within no time to react to the flood is all upon you all. You raise your hands to your face and brace for the impact in what you believe to be your final moments on Sanctuary, and you drop to your knees just as the entire area is submerged under raging water. Many of the people there, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, they all perish, as the strong toiling water pulls them quickly under and beats their bodies with broken pieces of wood and stone, and anything else the water has managed to sweep up in its destructive path. Somehow, though, you've remained unharmed, and the great tree, with its deep set roots inside the ground, is also able to withstand the flooding and constant battering of debris, though others were not so fortunate. The waters quickly passed by, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake, and though many had died, many more, slightly further afield, had survived the terrible event. You move to quickly check a few of the bodies that lay around you, but they are lifeless. Another loud crack comes from the mountain direction, and you look up and watch as the peak literally explodes, sending large, jagged pieces of flying rock for miles in all directions. The ground around the mountain was also beginning to shift and break apart. Ira, you must not fail in your quest, for if you do, this is what we will face together. This will be our future. High waters and sharp heated stone. It will spell the end of the Druidic line altogether, and what is to follow after this destruction doesn't bear thinking about. Hell will be unleashed upon Sanctuary, and demons will roam the land unchecked, destroying everything in their path. The world as you know it, both humans and nature, will cease to exist.
Mother, I don't understand. Why me? Why? There are far stronger warriors. Why? Why?
And there's no reply at first, and then you hear, because, Ira, you have been chosen. And this is your destiny.
Fall to my knees. And just cry.
As you look back to the grand tree with a look of despair on your face, a giant piece of jagged rock that was thrown out from the mountaintop lands on top of you and crushes you from behind. There's no escaping it. As you lay there, trapped under its weight, broken and dying, you see winged demons carrying spears flying around the canopy of the Great Mother Tree. Your vision soon becomes blurred, and your strength wanes. And as you release your final breath, and you feel the darkness starts to take hold of you, you wake up safe in your bed, back inside the barracks of the rogue encampment.
I'm gonna sit up really rapidly, like you do after a terrible nightmare. It's like heavily breathing in a cold sweat. Sort of like.
Okay.
Why me?
Some of the rogues that are in there resting begin to stir as you sit up and start talking to yourself. You do sit there for a moment. Obviously, it's a lot to take in. Was this just a dream or was this something more? You're not quite sure, but you know that the severity of the outcome of this entire quest is quite serious.
I'm gonna get out of bed.
Okay.
I'm gonna go sit by the campfire. Just put some distance between me and that bed.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a little bit.
Okay. This will take you into quite a few hours of your sleep, believe it or not. Obviously, because you only really remember everything from your early stages of sleep. Once you go into your deep sleep, you have no idea of time.
Mm-hmm.
So this has actually kicked in, I'd say, about halfway through your sleep. So you've managed to sleep a good amount, but you've woken up due to what could only be considered, I guess, as a nightmare. Let's see. Are you going to continue with your sleep, or would you like to do something? At the moment, the camp is very much quiet outside. At this point, both Cash and Francis are unresponsive over by the fire, which is being kept by just a couple of rogues that are on lookout. They can afford to be a lot less active on guard duty now that the barrier is now helping out the town with its defences. So you can generally be fairly safe in it now. There's nothing to worry about. So they tend to stick to more what we do, like almost like a rotational duty sort of thing, rather than just we're always on guard like they were before. So things have eased up a lot, and you can see that this is the case in the camp. There's a lot of pressure that seems to be alleviated. So yeah, good job with activating the circle, because it's helped the town as well. So what would you like to do then? I mean, like I said, there's not much that you can really do in the way of talking with people, because they've all gone to sleep.
I think this would be kind of like a quiet reflection of what I've just experienced. So the plan's to sit down by the campfire and just kind of almost like head in hands.
Yeah.
Or like rubbing my temples. Or just trying to understand what's just happened. Yeah, I keep having these nightmares. This one seems much more vivid. I haven't had a nightmare like this since I arrived here. Since that one when I was flying through the skies and got knocked down into a canopy.
Yeah.
I think with the strange corruption that's happening around here, maybe it's messing with me. Maybe this is some sort of premonition. Maybe mother is trying to reach out to me. Maybe that's the truth. But I don't know. I don't understand why I had to do this. I just don't understand. And I think that's I'm going to be there for a while trying to figure that out.
That's fair enough. Okay. Well, if that's what you're going to be doing, I will say that you spend maybe a couple of hours or so just roaming around the camp, trying to get your head clear, going back to the fire to warm up, and then heading back out and just wandering a bit more. Just in general, pacing about the place, trying to think of what you've been shown and what significance it is to you. Is this a trick, maybe, or is this something that's real? Have you witnessed something that is going to happen, or have you witnessed something that is just put in there to scare you? You don't know. So yeah, I can totally fully understand the confusion that I will be left in right now. So after doing your walkabouts, I'll say eventually you do head back to bed, because you are at a state of not exhaustion, but you're not far from it, if you know what I mean. It's been a very trying day for you all. And now your sleep is broken up. So, the best thing that you still want to get some sleep at some point. You might be a little bit apprehensive, but eventually sleep will take you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, finishing with that then. Time rolls around to about 1 a.m. So the time rolls around to about 1 a.m. and the party in general are starting to wake up. Cade, you are one of the first ones up, as you probably didn't need as much sleep. What would you like to do, Cade? It is currently near to midnight. It's 1 a.m. There's not really a way to know this, but you can tell that it's late.
That was refreshing. Is there any materials around so I can fashion a damaged hood?
Yeah, there is actually. Some of the materials that were from the uniforms that were brought back from the mines, you could clean those in the river and use those to fashion a hood for your damage, if you like.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the river, wash off what I can. What colour are the is the material?
The material is a kind of like a deep blue colour. Like see this box over here that's on the screen. It's that kind of blue that's around it.
Right. Is there any where I can make black dye?
Black dye.
Yes. Or some sort of fruit that can discolour stuff.
In the vicinity, no. You would have to get your hands on, I would say, probably some coal, and maybe try to discolour something using coal. Other than that, charcoal possibly you could get from the campfire. Might be able to do something with that. But anything else, like dyes and stuff like that, no, there's nothing like that there, and there's no fruits or berries or anything like that that's around this area. Literally, the vegetation around the area is dying.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the stitching and whatnot, but fashion a hood in a sense, and put on the back of it "damn" as in DAMN, and then hood.
Okay. No worries. Alright. So you wake up and you find the bits necessary to make your inverted comma damage crown. Once you are happy with that, we'll get back to you in a minute. Livia, you're the next one to wake up. You can see Ira, and during the night you probably would have.
Alright, so sorry about that. But yeah, I do that and whatnot. It was just my dinner arriving.
Okay. Right, so yeah, you do that, and then we're going to move on to Livia. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Livia, yeah, like I was saying, you definitely felt that Ira was moving about in the barracks, as like just around the bed bunks and so on. But it wasn't enough to break you from your sleep fully.
So it's more like a half awake, half asleep notice Ira moving or doing something and not realizing really what's going on and just going back to sleep again.
It's more I'm too tired to deal with this shit. So...
That's a mood. That is straight up a mood. I'm not getting paid enough for this shit.
Like I said, you guys have had one hell of a 24 hours, and it's really took its toll on you. And this sleep is probably one of the best sleeps that you are ever going to want because it's important. But yeah, you do sense that Ira is moving about, and you're just like, nah, too tired. Going back. Talk in the morning. Okay.
So I'm gonna do I'm gonna freshen up a bit after that sleep, stretch, do a couple of slight exercise to wake up and make sure they don't pull a hamstring when firing my bow next time, and do like small morning routine that I've gotten used to doing ever since joining the rogues.
Yep, no problem.
About like, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour of that. And then I'm gonna go and look and see if I can find Ira.
Yeah. Well, she's actually in her bed at this point. After her midnight walks, she's headed back to bed for another couple of hours.
Okay, if that's the case, then I'm gonna leave her be. But kind of keep an eye on it, so if I do notice that she's awake, I do want to talk to her. But in the meantime, I will kind of look for the other group members, and try to figure out what the game plan is, and then realize that we've got 2 zombies again. Go, less sigh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see a second, because I don't want to forget this. Scroll down to resting. Gone too far. There we go. Okay, so you've all completed a extended rest, your first extended rest. Each and every player gets to roll a d10, and you get to add this as a temporary hit points value.
Ah, damn. 1d10. I rolled a 4.
Yeah, and this is per act as well. So when you get to Act 5, you're rolling 5d10 extra hit points.
Nice. And we all get our mana and all that spaghetti back.
Yep, you get absolutely everything back. Yep. Any exhaustion, which I don't think any of you have, is removed. Hang on, extended rest players again.
Any injuries and stuff like that?
So you can regain all your hit points. Yeah, any lingering wounds or 2 stacks of exhaustion will be healed. So you get up to 2 stacks removed, and any lingering wounds at all are gone. So yeah, any injuries. You get your dice, your hit points dice, and your, for this game, magic point dice are also restored. So yeah, you're basically completely fresh.
Nice.
With a little extra bonus on top. Okay.
Me like it.
Cade, if you are with us, I need you to roll a d10, please, and add the
I was
value
going to
to.
do that now.
And that's your temporary hit points.
Nice.
Nice, flat roll. Good stuff. Alright, so yeah, going back to you then, Livia. What do you want to do? You want to go find the others, did you say?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Alright, so heading out the camp, out of the barracks, you can see the campfire straight away. It's burning nicely. You've got Cash, who's currently laying down, fast asleep, with his crown in his hand that he's been fashioning. You've got Francis, who is propped up by Bob and Beatrice, who aren't there at this point. They are like literally sat next to him, and he's just propped up in the middle. Currently meditating, but now it's gone from meditation into full-on snoring deep sleep. So, also in a state of unconsciousness. The NPCs are also in their bunks, houses and so on, in their little abodes. Chelsea's gone, Akara's gone, Kasha sleeps over in this tent here, and Geedy obviously uses his caravan as does Warif.
What time is it roughly?
It is roughly 1 AM.
Okay, yeah, no. So I'm just gonna Probably just to kill a bit of time waiting for the rest of the group to get their stuff done.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just do a little, like, not really recon, but just a checkup of the camp itself.
Yeah.
Like, see, are the guards actually awake, keeping an eye out? I know the shield is up and everything, but, you know, paranoia is paranoia.
Shields
The
can
camp has
fail.
been the camp has been attacked, and we are very, hanging on the thread, so I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, to answer your question, most of the rogues have been working hard also on their day one, and they are, most of them, split between the two barracks of buildings. The rest are over by the bridge, as they fear that is the main place to be in terms of guarding, and they want to keep an eye out on what's going on.
Yep.
So they will basically be stood by the bridge. The wall is checked regularly every 2-3 hours or so. So while you guys have been out, there's been a lot of maintenance and so on, just to make sure that the perimeter wall stays intact. So that's the general layout of the things. Some of the animals will be intended to, and so on.
Yeah, with that kind of a bit done, I will go and make some more arrows.
Ah, yeah.
Magically or naturally, if I can. Because I'm kind of low on them.
Yeah. Right. Right. Well, what would you prefer to do?
I'd prefer to save my mana, so if I can make them naturally, or if there are, like, I know I can buy them, but the shops are closed right now.
Yeah.
But if I can make some arrows during, like, the next however much time we're going to be spending in camp, waiting for everyone else to finish their rests and do whatever they want to do, I'll manually make some.
Okay. Right, what I'll do is then, if you want to try and make some manually out of the wood, this means obviously you need to be in possession of a dagger, which I believe you might have.
Yes, sir, I have two.
Yep. You can take some of the wood. There's chickens where you can get feathers from for the flights, and you can just pick up some jagged stone pieces, and you've got some very makeshift arrowheads. For the shafts, however, you are going to have to whittle those yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I will say... I'll say it'll just be a straight dexterity check to see whether you are able to craft the wood.
Dex check?
Yep. Because obviously
Okay.
this is a very dexterous job, and this is something that generally rangers are fairly good at.
12.
Yep, that's good enough. And let's see. A survival check as well, please. So,
Survival.
yeah. Perfect. You
8.
got exactly what you needed. Okay.
Fucking +4, I got an 8, typical.
Yep, that's exactly what you needed. You needed a 20 in total for both checks, so 10 on each, really. Right. So, yes, you are able to not only find the wood that you need and all the materials you need with your survival check, you're also able to whittle down the wood that you find and also sharpen the stone and make sure you've got some decent feathers to use as a flight. Tying it all together with some twine that you found, just laying about some of the general stores. You're easily able to fashion some arrows. How many do you have currently? What's your...
I have 9 total, so I can hold another 11 max.
Okay. I'll say you can make out of what you found. You got 9. I'll say you can increase your arrows to 15 from what you found.
Perfect.
as you did only just about pass.
Yep, no, that's fair enough. I wasn't expecting to max out. I was just trying to keep an eye on my supplies.
Yep.
I don't want to run out halfway through a fight and go, "Wow, shit."
Yeah, for sure.
I'll probably end up buying a second quiver at some point just to have more arrows. But for now, I'm making do with one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I need to check something. Oh no, they're there now. Skills. I'm not sure if you can make your arrows on the fly or whether it has to be. Oh, short rest.
As
Long rest.
my-
Yeah, short rest or long rest. Yeah.
Yep.
It'd be pretty cool if you could just like create magical arrows on the fly in battle. Or I've run out, or I'll just magic some up. But no. Okay then.
Yeah, that's why, like, every time I'm short or long resting, I've been making arrows, but I was thinking if we're in camp, I might have a better chance of just physically making them and conserving my mana for, like, inner sight and other spaghetti.
Yeah. Are you happy with that result, or do you want to use magic?
No, I'm perfectly happy with getting up to 15 arrows. That's enough for me.
Okay, great. So we'll say that you've propped down next to the fire and you're just currently just making arrows at that point, fletching. That's the word I was thinking of.
Yep.
Whilst you wait for everyone else to return. Okay. Ira. Waking up much nicer this time compared to when you did a couple of hours ago. This is welcome reprieve. You wake up, notice that there are a few rogues laying about, still fast asleep. However, the rest of your party have vacated the tent. What would you like to do?
Well, whilst physically rested, I am emotionally drained.
For the purposes of the mechanics of the game, you are fully rested up.
Yes.
But yes,
But
absolutely.
for RP,
For RP purposes, you are wrecked.
I am. Yeah, I am. I have not had the best night's sleep. I've had nightmares. I've seen my brothers and sisters be slaughtered in front of me, drowned, burned, stabbed. I've been crushed by a boulder or a sharp, jagged rock, and everyone I love is dying, and it all rests on my shoulders, from what I've gathered from this dream.
Yeah, so no pressure, eh?
Yeah, no pressure. So I'm going to kind of wake up groggily. Sigh heavily. Get up, grab my things, come outside. I would see everyone at the campfire, right?
Yeah, straight away, yeah.
And I head straight to the waypoint.
Everyone but Cade, who is currently over by the... Well, just coming back, I should say, from the visit to the river.
I see them, not a word. Let's go straight to the waypoint. And I just wait for them there.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Would I have seen Ira just make her way over there? Was us running around making arrows?
I'll let you decide.
What, me decide or Ira decide?
I'll let you decide.
Okay, I guess, depending on how long into the process of me making arrows I saw her. Like, if I saw her, like, as I'm starting arrows, I'll let her go, but if it gets to the point where I'm finishing up making my arrows, I would walk up to her once I'm done.
Okay.
I don't know what time Ira decided to get up, so I don't know when in my arrow making process she did.
I'm giving this to you so you can decide how you want to play it out.
I probably would have woken up about like 10, 15 minutes after
Okay, then I'm
After
probably still
Libya.
like maybe I'm still probably like 20 minutes, half an hour into making arrows. But if nobody else wants to do anything, I guess we can just fast forward until the time when I'm done with arrows, because then I'll talk to Ira.
I was going to do something.
Go
That's
for it.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead, mate. What do you want to do?
Well, I did the perception because I was more concentrating on my HUD than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I just spot out the corner of my eye. Livia say nothing and just walk on to the waypoint.
Ira.
Sorry, Ira. And I'm a little concerned at this point. I'm like, she's never done that.
Okay.
So I'm going to go across to her. My HUD's not fully done. All I've got is damn.
All right, you'll have to run a bit, but yeah, you can catch up with her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything all right, Ira?
Fine. Where are the others?
No idea. It's not like you just to get up and just walk. I'm a tad concerned.
What do you mean it's not like me? You've known me for a day.
Normally you're a little bit more upbeat.
Where are the others?
They'll be here.
I just kind of stand there, like tapping my foot. I'm agitated.
I'm going to wait by the waypoint with Ira.
Livia, I would definitely say that you were able to hear Ira raising her voice just now.
Okay, well, I'll speed up the process of finishing up my arrows, and when I'm done with that, I'll join them at the portal.
Okay. And from... Oh, no. I don't want that yet.
Please make that go away. Thank you very much, sir.
The fear! Anyway.
I don't like
From-
initiative.
I went off the screen for like 2 seconds, and you're just like, please make that go away. I'm like, what the fuck?
From this fire action, Ira, you could... Hey! Keep it down! Like, very mumbled and, like, muffled sounds coming from the tent. Because there's some tired rogues in there that don't want to hear arguments going on outside the tent.
Annoying, but
Yes.
It's a typical 2 a.m. fight. Like, why are the neighbors arguing again?
Yes.
Nobody likes that shit. Okay, when I finish my arrows, I'll join the other two.
Okay.
So, it seems that it's just us three. The other two, well, Francis is, and I point to where he's being held up by his two skellies, out of commission. And I don't think I've seen Cash anywhere.
No. You can just hear the rumbling of the snoring from Cash, the other side of the fire where you are now. So, like, literally, it's like... That's it. You look over and you can just about catch a glimpse of his shoulder as he's turning over.
Do we have any pasta in the camp?
No.
I've got to burn some. Let's see if I can use that as smelling salts for an Italian barbarian.
Smelling salts. Let's go.
no. Just start breaking spaghetti.
Oh no, that's just cruel. That's unnecessarily cruel.
Right. Okay.
I'll say it because he's
No,
not here.
just silently spread it around him. Have him break it himself.
I'll say it on Francis's behalf because he's not here. We're
He's
just
not
going to
all
have a pizza with a mayonnaise base.
Oh no! Not again.
Why would you say something so controversial?
Kate's having his dinner.
Pizza with mayonnaise base. Oh.
Okay, I can watch dog soldiers and eat bags of mashed with tomato sauce. I'm fine.
Okay, you'll be fine.
All good then.
Mm.
Still stomach. Okay, so what's the plan then, guys? It's just you three heading out?
I look at Ira and I give her like the questioning, like the looks like everything okay?
So it's just us then?
Yeah, I guess it's just us. Take it slow.
Fine. I turn around and walk through the portal. Or the waypoint.
Okay.
I just look over at Cade and say, I was gonna go and steal a barbarian's boots, but I guess we can do it this way. And I step through the waypoint too.
Okay, no worries.
I just rub my hands together and go, "It's more profit for us," and walk through the portal.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, as you've used the portal to come in, but you haven't used it to come out just yet. So you'll notice that it is attuned to where you last entered it. So for ease of access and exit, you can just jump in, jump out, and you know how to activate it. Or any new ones, you should say. Yeah, you know how to activate those.
Yep.
So, quickly whisked off to the cold plains then.
As I'm stepping through, I'm just thinking, going to that cold and scary place again.
Yeah, the cold and damp as well. You've just spent the night getting dry. And within moments of being back within this horrible, foggy, misty, darkened area, your clothes have already started to become damp again. Okay. So I don't think we have a turn order just yet. Pop that there. Do you want to roll initiative for a turn order, or are you just going to act as we would normally do for the war exploration?
Act as we normally do.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
let's just
Go ahead
take
then.
turns however we don't normally do it.
Has the map loaded up for you guys yet?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. There we go. So, you will also notice the bodies for. Oh, I guess Roll20 does want us to have turn order. No, go away. I'll turn off anyway. The bodies for the beasts are still there, but the bodies of the corrupted rogues that you fought have disappeared. Any loot that was left behind that you didn't take from them remains, but I believe you looted the bodies anyway. But just for reference, if they were to disappear and still have something on them, they would leave it behind. The item doesn't go, but the bodies do. The mutilated corpses of the beasts are still there. The gargantuan beasts, they are still there.
Question: does it look like the bodies have just like crumbled, or have they been like taken by some other creature? Like, are there any drag marks or anything like that in the area where the bodies were?
They look like they've just vanished. Like they've just ceased to be there.
Okay.
The remaining like blood smears and so on under the bodies are still there, so you know that there was a body there at some point. But in general, the body itself is now gone. It's nowhere to be seen.
Okay. I turn to the others to, shall we carry up the path?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stealth. as my action.
Okay.
For a 16.
Alright. Not a bad
5,
roll.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and that ends my turn.
Good stuff.
I'm not going to stealth.
No.
I'm almost stomping at this point.
Start walking.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. For the record, I did this one, right?
I believe you have minded, yeah.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
open. Mine, sorry.
I thought as much.
Let's grab a.
Yeah, I think that was one of the last things we did last session before heading back to camp.
Absolutely, yeah.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can have it
you were
written
doing
down
that
in my
while I
notes.
was you were doing that while I was peeling the gargantuans.
Yeah, while you were skinning the pelts, I was mining.
Yep.
Let's
That's it for me, just moving up 30.
pop up there. Okay.
Okay, do you moving?
Cade?
I'm going to move up with them.
Whereabouts are you headed?
Um, I'm going to go to there. I'm going to see these because obviously I didn't see it happen last. I was like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I'm going to move up another 5 feet and then I'm going to stop there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be me.
The beasts that you can see at this point are the result of the party's last excursion to the coal plains. You left a little bit prematurely to the fight, so you never actually got to see these guys come into play. But yes, there was not too big a battle, but there was definitely a battle here.
Not too big of a battle. You yo-yoed our necro off the bloody wall.
I know, that was beautiful. But anyway, he survived, and everyone managed to slay these guys. But I tell you what, he done incredible. That sleep spell was just brilliant.
That sleep spell made him the MVP of the fight, hands down.
It really did.
And them all failing the save the entire time was so good.
Yeah. Okay. So
10, 15, 20. Oops. That's a too far of a zoom. 25. 30. Holding, action, aiming. Mostly like 4, like in this general direction. End my turn.
okay. Through the mist and fog, you can actually see that there's a slain rogue laying on the floor here.
Yep. But I don't want to push too far ahead on my own because there's only 3 of us.
Not a problem.
I'd rather not get overwhelmed.
Alright.
5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30. I'm gonna hold a thorn whip and just keep looking forward. It's kind of like basically like this way.
Yeah, no problem.
Good for me.
Alright, Cade.
Gonna move forward with them a little bit, but more getting ready to do a fire charge if anything decides to creep up.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I'm not moving through any bodies. Just gonna hold there.
Yep, very tentative, okay.
Five, 10, 15. Do I have to? I can stand on here and loot the body, right? I don't have to be on top of the tile.
Just next to it, just close enough so that you can get to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Firstly, say a quiet prayer, and then I'll see if they had anything that we could use on them.
Okay. This body has been slain for quite some time. The pool of blood is basically encompassing the entire body at this point. The body has been dragged, but only slightly. Quite possibly suffered the same fate as, well, I say fate, the same thing as what the poor necromancer did. So got launched, and that, hence the scrape marks across the floor.
Oh, he got pinballed. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything on them?
Oh yeah, sorry, you searched it. Yeah. Grab my loot.
Want me to roll something?
Yeah, I will do. 1 second. Oh, actually, this is gonna be one of my random rolls. Okay, so on the body, you managed to find not very useful. It's a pack of bolts for a crossbow.
Hey.
Okay.
Just tied into one of the crossbow holders, bolt holders.
So it's like a quiver of bolts.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. It's fresh. It's fresh bolts because they haven't been used. She didn't get a chance to use these. So it's a full quiver, which is, I believe,
20?
Yeah, I believe it's 20, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the arrow quivers are 20, so I'm assuming that it's 20 as well. Cool.
Yeah.
Is that what's that in my action economy? Bonus action, spaghetti.
For searching a body, it'll be your action. Same as
Okay,
for
then
opening chests.
that ends my turn there.
Okay. Ira.
I have 10. I just kind of I look at the body.
Yeah, you can see that there's big lacerations across most of the limbs. Huge amounts of dried blood around the body itself.
And as I'm looking at the body, I'm just thinking about everything I saw last night or during my sleep.
Mhm.
And I mutter under my breath, we'll all end up like that. We don't get a move on. Not saying it like in a... Not loud enough that anyone else can hear it, just kind of berating myself under my breath. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, I get you.
15... 20.
Great stuff. Okay. Let's see. Can you?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
see it.
So just on the furthest edge of your vision, you can see a fallen. You are currently holding a spell. If you'd like to release that spell.
I wouldn't be holding the spell, it's come back to my turn.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you were going to continue hold it. Okay. In which case, then you can go with something else if you wish.
Yeah. Well, all I've done this turn is just move 20 feet.
Yeah. Alright, well, it's still your turn.
I'm gonna turn around to Livia. Hey, the fallen are here. And I'm gonna try and hit it with a thorn whip.
Okay. Well,
Let me just check that I do actually have the range on thorn whip. I can't remember if it's 30 or 60.
Thorn whip,
it's-
off the
think
top of my
it's
head, is 30. It's not crazy range.
Yeah, I can't even hit it.
you
It's
can't-
fine. I'll move. I can, but I need to move 5 feet closer.
Alright, do you want to do that?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Pick your square. Okay. So, sprouting out of you then, as you hold your hands forward, untangling or unfurling from your wrists, comes this.
So cool. I mean,
Roll to hit. Yeah, nice roll. Okay, that's definitely going to be a powerful hit. So add your +2 to the hit.
mhm. 5
wait,
piercing damage.
Don't think.
You really showed him, didn't you?
Does this count as a weapon or a spell? It counts as a spell, doesn't it?
It's a spell. Yeah.
So I don't think you can do the powerful hits. I think it has to be physical only.
Yeah, we had a conversation about this. Magic doesn't get powerful.
Yeah. So in which case,
It's just 3 then.
it's just 3 points. Okay. Okay, so from out of nowhere, these vines just attack this fallen, tearing into his flesh across one of its legs and one of its arms. The thorns digging nice in, causing blood to spurt out. Not a huge amount of damage, but enough. Is that going to be the end of your turn?
Bonus action, switch to hand axe and shield.
Fantastic, okay. What I'll do is then we are now in initiative, so everybody wants to roll their initiative.
Better than the 4 I got last session.
I'm a little slow today.
Good work in our favour, actually.
Yeah, I'm not much better.
Well, you're still going to go before me because you actually have a
Yeah, I have a
you have a plus 3.
Oh wait, that's another nat 1 for us.
It is.
Is
Yeah, Cade got a nat 1.
okay.
That's our 12th nat 1.
Okay, so round 1 then. 16. Which one's that one? That's the one that's just been hit. So the one that's been hit is the quickest to react. He is going to beeline straight for you. 2, 3, 4. But he can only get to. That's fine. That's all he needs. So using all his movement, then he attempts to slash you with his short sword. What's he get? All right, so a lightning quick cut, and he gets 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a powerful hit.
Okay.
It's plus 5, isn't it?
5 above, yeah.
Yeah.
5 above or 1 below for glancing.
Yeah.
Okay, so manages to catch you off guard slightly. No, I don't need to do that. I need to do that. 3 points, so 5 points total slashing damage. Ignore that last attack roll, that was by mistake. So, next one comes in. He's got no more movement, no more actions, so that's him done. Next one. Next fallen, screaming as he charges in the same direction towards you, Ira. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Just can't reach you. Slight little bit of disadvantage due to his distance from you. But he's just standing there screaming obscenities, which I won't utter. Okay. Yeah, let's just say they're in demonic, so you won't know what they're saying anyway.
The demonic imp called me a butt.
You believe? Right. Okay. That's his
Sounds
turn.
like a Google
Olivia.
Translate thing there.
Olivia. Well, Olivia or Ira, it's up to you. You guys decide. Your turn.
I have the higher dex mod, so I'd probably go first. 5, 10. I'm gonna shoot the one that's long and hit Ira.
Yep, no problem.
Am I technically still in stealth?
Yes, you are. Yeah, so this would be potentially what, a advantage shot?
That'd be the advantage shot, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a dirty 20.
Hang on, 1, 5, 10. Yeah, you didn't pass within 10 feet. That's fine.
I believe
Yeah,
that hits.
That's definitely going to hit, and that's also going to be a powerball shot as well. So extra 2 on
Okay.
top. I think he's dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead. That's 11 points of damage.
Oh, he's gone. He's big time gone. In fact, given the size of these things, your arrow literally just tore through the socket in his leg and just ripped his leg off in half. Done.
I just mutter under my breath. Damn, I was aiming for the other one. That was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and I'm actually going to pull out my 2 daggers. Bonus action swap my weapon set to my 2 daggers.
Right, okay.
And that's all I can do.
Yep.
Actually, I'm gonna use use my last 5 feet to get there.
Gotcha. Ira?
10 feet.
Yep.
I hit him with the axe.
Okay. Roll to hit.
What way is that fallen looking?
He's focusing on Ira at this point.
Okay.
So this will be a standard, but your attack would be an advantage. 7. Yikes. Yeah, you managed to get him, but it's only just a slight nick, so you get a glancing blow. So roll your damage, please. So you do 1 point.
1.
Yeah, so seeing the attack incoming, and obviously his focus is fully on you at this point, manages to bring up his sword and kind of deflect your axe blade away from him slightly, but as the momentum's carried forward, you've managed to nick him with the edge of your axe head. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Nope.
No.
Just as I put that back up.
Alright. So... Cade.
So, I'm going to move forward. I don't think I've seen any of this happen.
You're just out of range, out of sight, yeah. Okay. So technically, this will be the point where you enter the initiative. Yeah, so go ahead. Roll for your attack.
I'm going to throw one of my bombs.
Not from that distance, you're not.
What's the range on his bombs? 15 feet?
Yeah. What I'll do is, if you are intent on throwing these bombs, I will make you do it at a disadvantage shot, like we would do with a ranged weapon, because you are out of your range that you can, easily hit. So you have disadvantage, and then for every 5 feet that you're going to be out of range, I'm going to add an extra -1 to your roll.
$11.
Luckily for you, these guys are easy to hit. Okay, yeah. Right, 11 hits, roll damage. Yeesh. Right, so...
Damn.
Yeah, that's...
Max damage. I can't use the sneak on it.
Okay. You watch as the body of this little impy kite creature is just engulfed in the fire as this thing explodes and shatters into a million pieces, all stabbing into his body all simultaneously. Pretty gruesome for him, to be fair. It goes down. You put well into the minuses there.
Gonna need a lot of healing for him to get back on his feet again.
He ain't coming back, trust me. There's a big hole where his chest was. Okay.
It's but a scratch.
Tis but a scratch. Right, so
Just a flesh wound.
quick combat session there. That's nice. All right, dealt with. What would you guys like to do?
Can I
quite
retrieve
small.
the arrow from the first guy that I shot?
Yes, you may.
Yay! Sorry, I interrupted you there.
That's right.
No, it's fine. It was either me or you was going to go, so
Okay.
you go.
That's what I wanted to do. Get my arrow back.
Let's see. Ira, you can see something that others can't.
I can. Oh, right. How heavy are these imps?
They are basically built like very small children. So we're talking like 6-year-olds almost.
Oh, you can throw a 6-year-old pretty far.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably could, yeah.
that's gonna make this. That's just made this next part really awkward.
I'm not condoning throwing children by any stretch of the imagination.
Nobody here is condoning throwing children, but in game, they're different rules.
In game, anything goes.
Ira is going to pick this imp up.
Okay.
Wouldn't that imp be like a couple of pounds lighter because it's missing a leg?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it would.
I'm just going to look at it for a moment. It's like a lifeless corpse in my hand. And I'm going to toss it into the puddle.
Nice.
Cool. Okay. So very gratifyingly, you throw it in. Doesn't make a loud splash or anything like that. It just goes. Sinks almost instantly. The pond is not that deep though, so there's still bits of it that you can see poking out the water from the shallows. But other than that, yeah. So, body is over here. Oh, actually, was it that one, or was it the one with the?
I know, it's the other one.
Okay.
Well, like, yeah. Not the one that's missing its entire torso.
Very well. Okay. Do you throw his leg in as well? The dismembered one.
No, I just pick up the the main part.
Okay, so
And just like,
there's just his leg in this area here. Just-
yeah.
I'm just stood there holding the leg and trying to pull my arrow out while Ira's just yeeting the body into the pond.
Yep. And I will say as well, Olivia, that this was one of your homemade fletched arrows that you made just a couple of an hours ago. So good job on that. You made it.
I'm not approvingly. I'm not approvingly as I just pull it out of the leg.
Like, yeah, I did a damn good job of this.
And throw the leg after or at the body that's in the leg.
All right.
It's like that, but when I did this, there was just no emotion on my face. I'm just, I'm in a quiet rage. Just kind of like toss it aside,
Right. Okay then.
and then
I need to see what equipment they've got. There is a small shield and a short sword on the floor where he perished.
oh my god, moving the like character sheet in Roll20 is so annoying.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I just have mine on a separate page.
Yeah, you can. You can make it. You can have it as a separate tab.
I just like having it all in one place. It's just irritating. Right, 5, 10, 15.
You do you.
20. Depending on whether that took an action to toss the body in the pond, I'll either mine that rock
You're quite
this turn.
You're quite a strong character, if I remember rightly. So this would be an easy task for you. So no, it wouldn't take an action. You could do that as a bonus. So if you want to spend your action to try and mine,
Yeah,
yeah. All right, roll your d10 then.
just before I start rolling, in case this affects it. So I'll be implementing the new strategies that Wav showed me.
Yep.
Where I'm actually going to be mining the rock instead of trying to hack it like an axe to a tree.
Yeah. No problem.
It's what I was going with earlier, because that's the only motion a druid like myself would know, is chopping a tree down.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
Yeah. So I thought I'd go with that.
All right. So do you
Using that, but I know I'm hitting it a bit harder than what I normally would.
There's a lot more control over your swings now than what there were before. You were swinging very raw before. Now you are a little bit more skilled, a little bit in the knowledge of what to do. Your vertical strikes are hitting the same spot, making the weight of the momentum break through the rock easier. So you're finding things a little bit better. So do your D10 for me, please.
Okay. I got a 6.
So 6. Yeah. Okay. So a few swings, and a big chunk of rock breaks out of the main body of the stone, and inside you can see something glowing inside. Roll your d6 plus 1. What have we got here? 6. Oh no, hang on, wrong one. So
It's a
3. Okay, so the glow is actually like a yellowy, a yellow tinge to it, and as you pull parts of the rock off, you can actually see that it's a topaz. Now I'm going to roll an extra dice for you. Not quite. It is a chipped topaz.
Oh, that's my first one.
I'll tell you now. I will give you the option of what your enhanced mining is. So, the first you've got 2 options here. The first one is I will give you a 10% chance to every time you find a gem. I'll allow you to roll a D100, and on the 10% you will have a next quality up gem. But this will only count for chipped up to flawed. It won't be flawed up to normal, and then so on. It's only the lowest. Or your second option is I will make it so that you find I'll make it so that you can find a gem easier. So I will change the D10 results, and it will mean that you'll have like an 80% chance of finding something rather than a 70% or so.
Okay.
So what would you rather? Would you rather have a chance to increase the quality of what you find, or have a chance to increase something that you find?
I think I'm going to go with quality.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a note so that we don't forget. GM notes. D100.
I also feel like RP wise that makes more sense to me, because I learn technique rather than power. So I'm more likely to, if I do find something, I'm less likely to damage it as I bring it out.
Okay. So you want a 10 or less on a D100 roll, and you will get the next quality up gem.
Okay. Can I hit the rock again?
Yes, you may.
Oof. No, we don't want that. Oh, 10.
A straight up 10.
Yep.
No, you swing a few times more, but after a few more swings, you realise that there's nothing else that you're going to get from this. All the bigger chunks of rock are broken up, and yeah, this isn't revealing anything else of value to you. So just the one this time round.
Yep. Where was I stood? 5, 10, 15, 25, 30.
Okay.
I would inform Livia about what I can see, but I can only see her feet at the moment, and I'm not going to talk to her feet.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, you can call over the rock.
You know what? Sure. I'm gonna peek my head over the rock. It's gonna be like, Livia, there's a chest over here.
Very nice.
Okay.
Like nosy neighbour over the fence kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly like that.
Love it.
Right. But because I'm having a bad day, it's just like deadpan stare, like cold eyes. Just like, there's a chest over here.
Yeah.
Get a slight shiver when I just see the the 1,000-yard stare Ira just peeking over the rock, but I just nod and
Yeah.
start walking towards there on my turn.
No worries. Cade, what are you doing?
I'm going to move up.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm going to hold there while holding my daggers down my side.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to collect any of the fallen loot?
Yeah, I'll see what I can loot first.
There's
Be-
2 small shields and 2 small swords. Short swords, sorry. You can have those straight away. And if you want to search the bodies, then I need rolls. And as there's only 3 of you, every one of you is going to have to roll.
I was going to go for the chest first and loot afterwards, but yeah.
You can do your roll afterwards, it's fine. And then just pick what you wanna loot. That's not a problem at all. So yeah, let's see. I need this one open.
Come on, character sheet. Stop being a slow ass.
So is Cade looting, or what is he doing?
Well, I've picked up
believe
the 2
he's
shields and 2 swords.
picking up the the most obvious loot there is, and that's the stuff that's dropped, the equipment that's dropped. I don't think he's going to search at this point. He's going to wait for you to do the chest, and then as a group you're going to search the bodies.
Yep.
Well, at least one of them, because the other one's kind of like bobbing around in the pond at this point.
Okay. 5. Gonna slip past Ira.
Yep.
15. Gonna check for traps.
Check for traps.
What kind of check is that? Side of thieves' tools or something like that? Or can't remember. It's been too long.
No, checker for traps is just perception.
Depends on how you want to check. If you're just looking with your eyes, then fine, perception. If you want to fiddle about of it, then it's an investigation.
I'm just gonna look because my investigation is not good.
Okay, so have a look around and see what you can find.
That's a natural 20 for a 24 perception check.
Incredible. You
The
notice...
the chest has just told me its life story.
Yeah. You notice that there is, in fact, I mean, your knowledge of chess is fairly par, I'd say, and you know that there's not necessarily meant to be any extra portions or sections of the chest, especially near where the lid is concerned of any chest. Towards the back, you manage to find one said section of the chest, and you instantly know that it is not safe. If you were to touch it, you would quite possibly trigger it. It does something, but you don't know what.
Can I try disarming it?
You can indeed. So thieves tools and dexterity.
Can you give me a hand with this chest?
DM, can I?
Do you have thieves tools?
I was more asking for a guidance type, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was asking because of action economy.
No, I get you. Yeah, I'll say yeah, you can. So an extra D.
In which case, yes.
Okay, you said thieves tools, correct, DM?
Yep, thieves tools plus your dex.
Thieves tools plus guidance.
And guidance, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, you roll a 19. Oh, okay.
That's a 14 total.
Right, I need to consult this a second then.
Oh, there goes another poison over.
14 total. I can't find anything today. Oh, there we go. Right. Alright, so with the extra guidance of Ira, calling down her spiritual ancestor power to try and guide your hands, you start to fiddle around with this box that you found at the back of the chest, and you kind of nudge the trigger mechanism, and you hear a click, and it's like, is that good or not? And you hold it for a second, and sweat starts coming off your brow.
Is that rain or is that sweat? I don't know. I'm scared of either.
At the moment, it could be either. You definitely start to feel your heart rate increase as you've heard this click, and you're like, no, this is not good. And yes, to your horror and disbelief, at one point, you've actually... 1 second. Where is it? 1, 2. See. A 1. Okay, you can feel the chest is beginning to heat up very, very rapidly. As you take your hand away from the box, you release the trigger mechanism, and the box literally just explodes, covering you in fire. I need you to make a dexterity save as a flame bolt hits you.
22.
Yeah, beautiful. So you.
I roll high on that shit, but I can't open a fucking. I can't disarm a trap. God damn it.
All right, this can be reduced if you got. Oh, jeez. Okay, so you do take 6 points of fire damage, as this thing does hit you. But it does. But you quickly flick it away from you before it manages to catch a light on your clothes. Possibly the fact that they're slightly damp is helping the fact that it's not going to catch fire. However, let's see. Yeah, so this is a magical trap. So the bolt is more like, if I was to describe an ice bolt or a lightning bolt, it's not a physical one like you picked up earlier.
Yep.
So it's just energy that dissipates as you like pattern it out. There it is. Okay, set off. Okay, so after all of the stress that this has caused and the amount of damage that you've taken, what are you going to do next? The trap is sprung, but the chest is not open.
I just turn to Ara and go, well, I guess I don't have to disarm the trap anymore. I kind of chuckle a bit, and I see about actually unlocking the chest now.
Mm-hmm.
I tut disapprovingly.
Yeah, you do go to slide the lid off the chest, and it gives a little and then snaps back, as it has done a few times that you've seen now. It is locked.
Yes, but I said I'll try to unlock it.
So, let's see what Cade's doing, because that would have been your action to disarm and so on. So, Cade.
Okay.
What are you doing? Cade?
Me? I'm just going to wait here. I'm not going near that chest.
Alright, yeah. I understand, because you don't like them. That's fine. Do you want to do anything specific, or are you just going to wait until the rest of the party join you, basically? I'm
going to wait till the rest of the party join me.
Okay, cool. We'll skip for yours then. I'll say that whilst you are stood there, you're not just going to be dawdling. You're going to keep an eye on the surroundings, so you're going to go into an overwatch. So I'll say that you go into a dodge action for this turn. Right. So, where did we get to? Coldplane. Okay. This is number 2. Oh no. Okay. That's fine. Right. Shit. Well. Okay. So going back round to you then, Livia and Ira, as you are working together basically to get this open. Livia, if you want to use your thieves' tools to try and pick the lock, as you are using your...
Go on. Can you repeat that again?
I said, if you want to use your thieves' tools and try and pick the lock, you may. If Ira wants to give you guidance again, she may. You probably
You would definitely want to use my thieves' tools.
Yeah, you probably are doing it anyway, but just a reminder that when you use your thieves' tools, don't forget to take a durability usage off of them.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on them.
Cool stuff. Alright, go for it then. Roll away.
Ira, are you helping me again?
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
So repeat the roll basically.
Natural 20 for a 28 this time.
Incredible.
What the fuck? Where was
So,
that roll?
Amazingly, in a complete turnaround of events, you can still feel the heat in your chest just slightly, but as you click open this lock and the lid springs open, all you see inside is a short staff, which, as you watch, as your eyes glance over it, it is deformed from what a usual staff would be. It is also burnt through most part of it, and the yellow glow that you do catch a slight glimpse of starts to fade away.
Okay, anything else that's actually useful in there?
Nope.
No coins, nothing like that?
No.
Okay. So, nothing to do here, Ira. My apologies. And I'll
Another
head over
giant
to-
waste of time.
I'm afraid so. And I'll head over and help Cade with the body.
Okay. Right. Don't need that anymore. Okay, so if you guys are gonna search these ones quickly, okay, so you've got your choices of perception or investigation, as per usual. So pick one and roll away.
You need one from each of us this time, don't you?
One from
So,
each. Yep. Yep. What's that perception?
Yeah.
Another perception.
What are you doing, Cade? Investigation or perception?
Perception.
Okay. You managed to find. Well, it's one pass, so you managed to find 2 items. Don't know why I closed that down because I could have used it. Come on. Okay, first item. Alright, next one. Okay, so this particular chest was probably left by someone very similar to Cade, in fact. Maybe it's been dug up and then the person who's found it has been killed by these fallen that were just seemingly hanging around it. But in sorry, not the chest, the fallen that are there. The most likely have managed to find a way to scavenge these items because they didn't generally wear these kind of stuff. So you find one set of leather armor and a skull cap. So not bad findings at all. In fact, let me see. Yeah. Right. Let's do this. There we go. So the skull cap is glowing with a blue energy to it. The leather armor is just standard, no glow to that at all, so no form of magical linked effects to it. But the skull cap does have. There we go. So that's everything for the loot in that area. Your path does bend around to the east again, which is the way that you wanted to head.
So what was the loot? Leather armor?
Leather armor, basic leather armor, so no magical properties, and a magical property skull cap.
Okay. Any coins, anything like that?
No, there was no coins on these ones. Let's see. Who rolled the success? Livia. It's Livia. You actually found both of these items.
Okay. I'll put them in my inventory orb.
Yeah. But no GP.
Badge.
Okay. So, like I said, the road leads you east. And in the distance, slightly, I think you're able to see... Yeah, you're able to catch a glimpse of a lantern which is illuminating the area slightly. But sadly, it's being obscured a lot by this fog that's drifted in. So,
Just basically see a very dim floating light, like 40, 50 feet in front of us.
yeah,
Because that's not scary at all.
it's around the height of what the street lamps would be. Obviously placed here to make the journey for road users a little bit easier, so they can see in the dark, but the fog is obviously making it a lot more difficult. So, what would you like to do?
Well, if we're going back to the old turn initiative, I'll go ahead and stealth again as my action.
Yep, do that.
23.
Very nice.
And 5, 10, 15, 20. And that ends my turn.
Okay. Yeah, so as you crunch your way down this path, it's not too loud, so you're not giving away your position at all. And yeah, you can clearly see that there's parts of broken walls, bits of rubble, bloodstains, and some very twisted and dying trees that have all but perished. Mainly as a result of the effects that the demons being in the area. So, once you're done, Ira, what are you doing?
5, 15, 20, 25, 30. I suppose I see the trees as well.
Yeah, you do. Everything you can see is what you're able to see. What you see is what you get.
I become visibly unnerved. at the site of the tree.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost like a knock-on from what you dreamt about, and seeing the nature in front of you dying is really, really discomforting for you. So, let's see.
What's happening? What did I miss?
So one thing that you may have missed is that what's it called? The signpost that you walked past does actually have things on it, which give you brief directions of where things are. So to the west, you've got a sign that points to the Bloodmoor, which you obviously know of. And to your immediate east, you've got the road graveyard, and also further east of that, you've got a place called the Stony Field, which you haven't visited just yet. There's a reason why it's called Stony Field, and you will find out when you get there, if you get there.
Oh my god, the DM is threatening with a TPK again. Oh my god.
Can I just take a guess as why it's called the Stony Field?
Yeah, sure.
Is it made of wood?
I was just gonna say, is it just a bunch of sand?
I mean, you'll have to find out when you get there, wouldn't you?
It's a stony field. It's all glass. The entire thing is glass. Just broken glass everywhere.
Hope you got some good shoes.
So, I'm an attractive druid, okay? I walk bare feet.
Yes, but you show ankle.
I mean, just zoom in on my character.
True.
It literally shows like my entire leg.
Zoom. Enhance.
Okay.
Hey, whose turn is it? Cade, I guess?
Yeah, it will be.
Yep, you do have moved. So, Cade, you're up.
And then there were two in the party.
Do something quick, Cade, otherwise Livia and I are going to descend into feet talk.
Did he leave any messages anyway?
No, I think he might be having audio issues. He just disconnected, reconnected.
There we go, I'm back.
Alright.
There we are.
Alright, your turn, Cade.
My turn. I'm going to go into stealth.
Okay.
So,
Nice high rolls from both.
10, 15, and then I'm just going to hold my daggers there. I'm not going to go any further than where everyone else is.
Yeah.
I'm still holding on to my daggers.
Okay, no problem. Back to you then, Livia.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. And I'm gonna. How clearly can I see the other people of my party?
Very.
I'm gonna point in. Where's the ruler gone? In this direction, and hold up like a single finger, trying to indicate that there's an enemy that way.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold an action to shoot said enemy that I can see. With the trigger of either it's starting to move or one of our party members seems to be engaged in it. Like on it.
Yeah, okay.
And that ends my turn.
Okay. Ira, you can see that Olivia has stopped just the other side of that broken piece of wall. Turned slightly to the rest of you, or to both of you, and is now pointing towards just the direction that she was travelling. You're not sure at what she's pointing just yet, but she's holding up her finger in the air, like just as a one motion. But other than that, no real information is given.
Would I be able to discern from that there is a monster up ahead?
Probably not. Not from just holding up the finger in the air, no. But you can see that she's stopped, so that would probably be more of a giveaway that there's something there.
You know what, I'm going to say that I'm not really paying too much attention
Okay.
to all of that. Because, like, I've seen her do it, but I'm not really making the connection. Just sort of like, I've seen her stop, I'm just like, I assume something's happening, but I'm kind of in my own little world, and I have been since I woke up. Five, 10. I think I can see it.
Yeah, just about. Just about
Yeah.
in
Is that-
farthest reaches of your vision, you're able to just catch a glimpse of something in the distance is holding something that's reflecting off of the light of the moon. Other than that, you can't really tell what is there.
Okay. 15.
Okay. Clear vision now. You've got perfect sight on a corrupted rogue. Just waiting over by what seems to be an entrance to an area.
kind of not fully turning round to Livia, but kind of tilting my head a little bit.
Mhm.
I kind of say, "You going to be okay with these today?"
I don't know. It's still hard, but it's got to be done. If we can get through these, we can get to the source and maybe save the rest.
Works for me.
Okay then. Are you doing anything else for your turn, Ira?
Yes. 20. I thought so.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, you've just gained the attention of these two.
Bonus action, shapeshift.
Oh, definitely got the attention of these two. Okay. Let's do this then. We are now in combat. Let's get these initiatives done.
We rolling new initiatives?
I was about to ask that same question.
Yeah. I would assume so, considering we don't have any initiatives on the turn order.
Nope, we are going to need new initiatives, guys. So,
Need to give me a second. Check something before I do all this.
now depending on what you do next depends on a few other things as well. Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
I thought I fixed that. I guess I didn't. There we go. Right. So, at this point, I need to see what everyone can see. Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh wow, so you're there. Okay, you have currently the attention area of this one and this one.
Yeah, that's gonna change. Still my turn, yeah?
It is still your turn.
25, 30, 35, 40.
Oh wow. Oh, you've just gone charging in, huh? Okay.
I got woke up today and chose violence.
Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah.
At least I got a chicken.
Okay, how am I going to do this? One. Objects. Couldn't select them for some reason. Right. Not one.
Having that one for the DM.
Ooh, nice. That's a lot of initiatives there, sir. Can you please calm down of them? Thank you.
Oh yeah, you guys can't see this yet, can you? You'll find out in a minute. Don't worry.
I can see. Well, I can directly see one, and I can see 4 others through like the shared vision thing that we have. It's kind of scary. I don't like it. I want to go home.
Alright, there we go. So... Okay. There are no attacks waiting to happen already, so we go straight into round 1.
Well, don't I get my attack?
Yeah, you should do. You didn't cast
Like
it,
my
did
turn.
you only done
No.
your transformation, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've still got 1 attack, like
Yep.
just like 4.
Yep, you do. You get 1 this turn.
Ugh, close.
And 11. Nowhere near what you need.
Yeah.
So, in your haste to try and get a quick hit in, you managed to swing wide. And with that done, we move on to first round. Okay. So this one, screaming, Forandario! Heads
Fogondo!
here, and shuffles past this one and lands here. Turns...
I will take my held action then against him.
Yes, you may.
I'm still in stealth, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, here you go. Alright.
What did you roll for stealth? It's quite high when it was like 26.
I rolled a 23 on stealth, and I just got a 23 to hit.
Perfect. Yes.
Which I believe is a powerful hit.
That is definitely a powerful hit.
So that is a total of 9 points of damage.
Is it a little bit extra because of the lightning?
Already added.
If it is doubled lightning because of the area, then it's total 10 points of damage.
Two. Yes, it will be 10 years. Well, it's not.
Thank you for
double, it's an extra 2, so that would be 11 points
11.
of damage.
Even better.
So it's powerful hit, over 10 points of damage.
So it's a wound, isn't it?
That's an injury.
Yep. So roll
D6?
I'm learning.
please.
Yeah, we are learning slowly. It's only taken us like 9 episodes. That's a 2 on the damage thingy.
Alright. Here's my hungry. There it is. Let's go back to. There it is. Right, so a 2 is a torso injury. This is nice. Okay, so striking the weak spot then in the middle, well, in her back basically. The arrow drives through and she is left with a -5 to her total base HP, which is great. Really useful actually. So if I go, this is only really useful for stuff like healing. So she can't heal. She can only heal like up to -5 her total that she had. I think you know. I'm not sure if you know her hit points just yet.
I have a decent idea of where their hit points are.
Yeah, cool. So yeah. That's what that does. The torso injury is a really nasty one because it means you can't heal up to your original total of HP. It's like the opposite of temporary hit points.
Yep.
If that makes it any easier to understand. Okay, so she's not looking too good after that singular hit. Blood is pouring out from her back and straight through the armor that she wears. However, managing to steel herself slightly, she lunges for you, Ira. And it's going to be an advantage hit. So that's a 19 to hit you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be 9 points total slashing.
Where's my thing? Oh, there it is.
Actually, what's your Wolfie AC? I think is it more?
It's the same.
Oh, it's the same. Okay, that's good.
The wolf form doesn't actually get any beneficial ACs.
I think the bear does though.
The bear does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wolf is all about damage. The bear is about tanking hits.
Tanky stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all she can do because she uses a shield, so she can't strike again. Next on the list is this one.
We didn't roll well for initiative. God damn.
5, 2, thing. 20. Do a quick perception check. Yep. 25, 30. Coming for you, Olivia. But that's her, if I recall correctly. Yep, that's all her movement she can do. Frustratingly, 16. This one. 1, 2. Damn. Well, okay then. Well, she can't really do anything else. I'm not going to queue them up, so they're going to spread out a little bit. This one's going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And this one comes and charges at you, Livia. You haven't got any reactions that you want to use or anything like that?
Technically, a held action is a reaction with the whole mechanic. So
oh yeah,
no.
You've already used it. Yeah, sorry. And she's gonna shout, "I'm gonna feed you to the quill rats when I'm done with you." And she swings. Normal. Ah, jeez, terrible.
Nope.
All right, that's that one done. Next one. This is going to be the one that's in front of you, Ira, so she's just going to attack with a normal hit. And she's going to say, hold still and let me hit you. Yeah, she gets you. That's 6 total points of slashing damage.
Against whomst?
Ira.
Okay.
So that was... if this helps, that one there. And I believe it's now Livia's actual turn for the round. So you have been set upon by one of the rogues, talking smack and completely missing, you know. Shit happens. When I said depending on what happens next, depends how this is gonna go, that's exactly what I meant. I didn't realise Ira was just gonna charge straight in. Otherwise, you would only be fighting 2 at this point.
Okay. Bonus action inner sight
Yep.
on this pillar here, so that will hit both of the Dark Hunters on Ira.
Let me check. You might have to cast it on one of them. It'll still hit both
It's
either.
area. It's an area, mate. 10-foot radius doesn't say that I have to target anyone.
All right. Okay.
Actually, fine. It doesn't matter. Like, as I can see that one enough to cast it on them, or I can move to cast it on them, and then it still gets the job done.
Yeah. In the description, kind of suggests that it needs to be on an enemy. But,
Okay, 10-foot, cast on that one.
But yeah, it doesn't actually say that it has to be. So I know what you're saying.
I'll just cast on that one then.
On that one? Yep, and it'll still get the other one as well.
Yep.
Okay. Brilliant. So that means the effect is a +1 to hit.
That's already my bonus action.
+1 to hit versus effective enemies for the next attack from each party member.
Yep. So every attack from so the first attack from every member against both of those targets will have a +1.
Correct. There we go. Okay, so these two are now lit up, basically, in a strange kind of like fairy light, fairy dust kind of particle effects that are now floating around their bodies, making them a lot more easier to see where they're going and what they're doing in this horrible mist. Okay. I don't know why you got...
No.
So what else are you doing, Livia?
That's 5. You know what? 10 feet movement.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna shoot the one that I've already shot before.
Okay. Just as you step out of the area of the dark conduit that's in front of you, she is going to take a swing.
Yep. Nope. Misses.
No, very nice. So very deftly you manage to step away and take a shot, I think you said. So yeah, at this one.
Yep. No, that misses.
So you 13. No, sadly, even with the enhanced vision of her, it's still not quite enough, and your arrow sticks into the tree to the side of her instead.
15, end my turn.
Okay, Cade.
Right, I'm going to move up to the corner. Stealthily, hopefully they don't see me.
What did you roll for yours? Stealth?
20.
20. Yeah, absolutely fine. You can sneak up onto them.
So I'm just going to go to there and then do a double dagger attack on this one.
Alright, so double strikes. This will give you... She is focusing on Olivia at this point, so this will give you advantage on the hits.
Yep.
Yeah, on both your strikes as well.
Dagger 1. 14.
14. No, it's a low roll. Almost managed to get her, but she just moves out of the way of one of your strikes. She's waiting for your next one. She's used her reaction.
Yep. Attack on 1. With advantage again, yeah.
Yes, please.
$16.
Bang on. Roll your damage. Add your sneak. Oh, unlucky.
4.
Let's see. Your D3 is 2. Sneak's 1. Did you add your dagger mastery to it?
Yes.
You did?
So that's just a total of 4.
Okay. Damn, I was hoping you'd do a little bit more.
What does dagger mastery do?
Gives him an extra point of damage per rank.
Well, then you haven't,
Alright, then I do 5.
So you do 5 points, yeah.
because you've got a +2 dex. You rolled a 1 on your weapon die, and you got a 1 on sneak.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll try to help you out where I can. I don't want you to miss your damage out.
Yeah.
Right. Are you doing anything else for your turn? You've moved, you've attacked. So
I'm
you've
gonna
bonus action.
move a bit further there, and I'm gonna go back into stealth. Hopefully, not being seen.
Alright, well you have to wait for next turn for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can hide behind the half wall. They can still see you perfectly.
Yeah.
But you are half covered, so you'll gain an extra 2 AC for it.
Yeah, and that's me done.
Okay, moving on to the slower ones then at the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to just move down there. Evaluate her options. Probably take dodge action for now. It's not really worth it. Oh no, it's Ira's turn. Yep, and then the really slow one at the back.
I'm gonna swing round
Yep.
with my right claw on this one.
Yep. Okay, so just to clarify, I don't know if anyone's seen this or not, but what I've done is I've made it so that when you trigger the opportunity attacks, it's only if you turn 180 degrees. So literally, if you turn your back towards the enemy, then they can strike you. If you just turn to the side, so that you're facing something off to the side, then they don't get an attack of opportunity against you. So it's literally if you turn all the way around and you lose sight of them completely, that's when they get a chance to strike. Okay, so you turning from one to the other here will not trigger anything. Just so you know.
Okay. So 12.
12. No, it's not going to hit, I'm afraid.
16.
Well, hang on. That should be at advantage. The first one should be at advantage. Because inner sight's up. So that'll be 15 for the first one. I'll take the 15 on that. That's not a full blow, but you get a glance in.
No, that would be a 16 then, because left claw does 1
Oh yeah, sorry.
left
Yeah,
to hit.
yeah. Oh wait, no. Doesn't give advantage anymore, does it? Sorry. So 1 is 12 and then 1 is 16. So your left claw does manage to pierce through. It is a glance. No, it is a hit. Sorry, it is a hit. Roll your damage. So it's going to be 4.
I don't roll damage on that, it's the same regardless.
Oh, there we go then. Alright, looking extremely beaten and blooded, this one. I think this is one that's got an arrow sticking out of the back. Right, okay. Anything else for your turn, Ira?
Yes.
Yes? Go ahead.
I would like to turn to face this direction.
Okay.
Because neither of them are at a 90-degree angle to me.
I don't get what you're trying to do.
Well, if I'm facing this one,
Yeah.
then this one gets advantage on me.
Yeah, it's about their placement, not yours. So one of them will always get advantage on you.
It's only if it's at 90 degrees.
No.
That was
Yeah,
that's what you said.
They are still at 90 degrees. Whether you're facing them or not doesn't matter. It's their placement that matters. So they have to be minimum of 90 degrees away from you. Or there has to be at least one that would be cast as the one that's counted as your attention, basically.
Alright. Well, I'll be looking this way then.
Right, okay. So this one is no longer gaining advantage on you. This one, on the other hand, will.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Last but no means least, 5, 10, 15. She's going to head next to here and try and take a swing at you, Cade. It is a bit of a difficult strike to try and pull off, but she's going to try it anyway. Normal. Oh no!
Oh yes,
no.
fucking send that weapon anywhere into that pond.
Well, I mean, yeah, it could happen. Right, so what I need
Some
to do...
ducks! Hey, some ducks!
Hang on, guys. Right, before you get too excited, I still need to roll a D100 because they do wear gloves. Let me just double check. Let me just double check. Fine info. Yes, they do. They have a 40% chance. To avoid this horrible catastrophe that's happening. Alright, so D100 just about manages to hold on to their weapon. Just about. So literally what happens is it dings off of this wall, and you can see it like vibrating in her hand, and she's literally had to bring her shield arm across and hold on to it, the other weapon, so that it would stop shaking and that it would not fall out of her hand and fly into the quite possibly into the pond. Yeah. It would have been a severe hit, but had it hit you instead of them, instead of the wall. So she manages to retain her weapon. That is though her go.
Naked ghost of Haytham has breathed a sigh of relief.
Dark Hunter, who is severely damaged, is going to go for you, Ira, for her turn. Using the sword. That's a hit. That's 5 points of slashing. So that'll be, what, 7?
Yeah.
And that's her turn. 18. Her. She's going to swivel this way slightly, trying to put a little bit of a shield wall, if you like, in front of her and Livia, because she doesn't want to take an arrow. And she's going to take a swing at you, Cade.
Yes.
Actually, she was in the 13, 15. Yeah, she can. She can move there. She's going to get an advantage on you.
Oh god.
A 9 and a 10. So, completely rubbish over this side of the field. Yeah, you're just too quick and nimble to be hit. You saw the attacks coming and, yeah, dealt with it accordingly. Alright. Just going to do a quick movement of this section because that's supposed to be there. Next up is the one that's going after you, Livia. She's going to move here and take a swing. Normal. 15. Does 15 hit you, Livia?
Pardon, sorry?
Does a 15 hit you?
Yes, that hits me, just.
Okay. So you take 4 points of slashing damage from this rogue. Well, yeah. And that's going to be her done. Next one up is the one that's got advantage. Shit. This is on you, Ira.
Of course it's on me! You haven't rolled anything under a powerful hit yet! I knew it was on me to begin with!
Oh dear.
By the way, in one turn, the DM just hit his 10th nat 1 and his 10th nat 20.
Yeah. Let's see. 9. So it's gonna be what, 11 total. Man, these rolls are just stupidly good. Yeah, so 11 points of slashing. Are you still standing? I think the wolf's got the hit points to manage it.
Indeed it does.
Yeah. So that's going to be that one, and then it's going to be you, Livia. Why did that happen? I think I double clicked it. Yeah, so you're up, Livia.
Okay, I'm gonna step away again.
She's not going to attack.
Hunter's Mark, the one staring at Livia, and sorry, not Livia, Ira, and Ira's looking at.
Yep.
And then I'm going to shoot it. Motherfucker.
Ouch! Right, okay. Do you have any gloves?
Nope.
Okay, so it's an instant crit.
My weapon doesn't go flying, mate.
It doesn't go flying, but you still get a chance to avoid that crit one. Not one, sorry. Right, so roll the damage that you would normally do. And you take half of it.
Oh, I rolled max. Great. Well, so I take 6 points of damage.
Yeah. So the lightning from your arrow just seems to disperse straight away before you've even fired it this time, crackling away up your arm, causing the damage.
Wait, is that +2 as well?
Yes, you will take B+2.
Okay, I'm unconscious.
Oh, you're down?
Yeah, I've got no fucking health, mate. What do you think?
Gone. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna prepare my rogue character sheet. BRB.
Based.
I'm not even kidding.
Alright. Okay, so Cade, you can see over the wall that Olivia's shot has potentially backfired on her, and the lightning is carrying around her body and causes her to stand on the spot for a moment, being shocked, and then she falls to the ground.
Oh, for God's sake.
What's your plan? You're in a slightly disadvantaged position at the moment, so you need to consider that as well.
Yep. I didn't hear half that.
What didn't you hear?
I could see over the wall that Livia's gone down.
Yeah. She basically shocked herself, and it's done a lot of damage to her, and she's gone down. You are potentially becoming surrounded. There are a few places where you can slip out, but it's up to you.
I'm gonna probably incur two attacks of opportunity, but I'm gonna jump over the wall and get to Livia as fast as possible.
Okay. Right. I need a acrobatics check then, please.
Yep.
As you hurdle over this wall. Or attempt to.
No.
What did we get here? It's 6 total. Wow. As you leap over the wall, you manage to get over it, but you catch your foot on the top of the wall and scrape down. And instead of landing on your feet on the opposite side, you land on your face. So you do manage to get over, but you will take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit hard on the floor behind the wall.
Yeah.
On top of that, you've also incurred 2 attacks of opportunity.
Attacks of opportunity.
1 at advantage.
As I-
So 18. So 5 points of slashing damage. What's your AC?
My AC is 12.
So that's going to be an extra 2. So 7 total.
Yeah.
And then the
That's eaten through
Oh!
that attempt.
And the other one that tries to get you is the one that missed you just a minute ago, actually. And and now she's rolling to see if she releases her weapon again.
Yep. The one that missed me.
Right, and the weapon is gone. So she swings again. She's not very good at this, is she? So she swings as you try to leap over. The other one connects pretty well. This one connects with the wall again. Let's roll that. Oh, dude. 15, so 15 feet into the drink. So her weapon ends up in the pond over here.
Nice.
And she is currently weaponless. Yeah.
Yeah. While still prone, I'm going to crawl another 5 foot.
Okay.
And then shove a potion down Livia's throat. The only
I have a
potion that I have.
boyfriend.
1, 2. So when you're prone and you're crawling, it takes double movement, doesn't it? So it's
Yes.
So that's 10 feet you've moved.
Yep.
Yep. And you're going to spend your what would it be? Bonus?
Action.
Action?
I'm using my action to do it because I'm going to use a bonus to stand back up.
Yeah, I'll let you
It's
do that.
free to stand up. Just costs half your movement.
If you don't want to lose half your movement, I'll let you do it for a bonus action.
Yeah.
Okay. So
1d8, isn't it?
no. I need 2d4.
Right, 2d4.
for healing. If it's the minor healing potions. Right, okay.
That's 5 plus the, what was it, 2d4 plus 3, wasn't it? What, weren't they?
No, just 2d4.
Oh, just 2d4, so that's 5.
So you get 5 points of healing back. What are you doing for the rest of your turn? Well, first of all, is that 5 points enough to get you back with us?
I was at
No,
0.
I've already used 20 foot of my movement anyway, so I couldn't. So using my half my movement to stand up wouldn't work.
In this situation, I'll give it to you. Okay. So.
This is good. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Is Livia back on her feet or?
I was at 0 with my own damage, so yeah,
Oh,
I'm at 5.
fantastic. Okay, so you weren't even.
Yeah.
Dying.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no,
use
I only did 13 damage to myself. Don't worry about it.
only.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to use my bonus action to stand up because I've only got 10 foot of movement left. I wouldn't be able to use half my movement to stand up.
That's fine. Yep.
And then I'm going to take a somewhat defensive position. Because I've used my action and my bonus action, so...
So you're just going to stand there then, basically, because you've got nothing else you can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, fine. Hope the dice gods are with you on this one.
They
Alright.
need to be.
They have been so far.
That's true. That's true. So...
Yeah, they've been a big fan of us today's session.
Alright, so... Okay, as these are directly opposite you, she's on your face, or that you would be facing. So I'll make her attack a normal attack. She screams as she swings her blade out of frustration. As you manage to just duck under the blade as it's incoming. So you are safe, Kate, for now. Ira, you're up.
Yeah.
What's up?
You're up.
Alright. What does Hunter's Mark do again?
If I hit them, I do extra D6 point of damage.
Oh, okay, has nothing to do with me then.
It's nothing for you, sorry.
Alright. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I was just trying to kill one of them to, free an opening for you.
It's not. It's not a concentration spell, is it?
It is, but it's faded because I died.
Oh, it is. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's gone.
Yep.
Same target.
Yep. Finish it off.
I mean, that's a fucking bold statement.
Come on. Nope. And nope.
What can you do? If you don't get the rolls, don't get the rolls, right?
That's right.
I don't think I've actually hit anyone today. Oh no, I hit one. But that is just hit one.
Okay. Trying to escape, are ya? Not today. And she runs around the wall and swings her blade. At you, Cade. Oh, jeez. Really? Okay, well, I guess maybe you can escape today. That's the end of her turn. Normal attack on you, Ira. Oh, dude. I want to know what bribe Cade has made to roll 20. Six points of slashing damage on Ira. Come on. Moving on. 5. 10. Just gonna line up with her sisters there. Hey, there we go. That's a 21 to hit on you, Cade.
Oof.
8 slashing.
Oh.
Or what?
I was saying oof.
Oh, that was a big oof, was it? Are you still with us? Or are you
Yeah.
toppled out?
I'm still with you.
Okay.
Just.
Okay. Yeah, so this one here anyway is trying to punch you. Because her blade went flying. I'll try and put a mark at it. I'll put a note. Punching. But she missed anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Right. She missed. She hit. Okay. Okay. I don't want to look. This is going to be advantage on you, Ira. This is the last.
Alright.
our
Don't be a pussy. Finish me off.
last one that's last one that's going to attack. I'm hoping that it's low rolls. Okay. That's fine. Averted the critical there with the advantage, but not enough to deal any damage. So, whew. Okay. Livia, you come round to Cade, being next to you and fighting over your body, basically.
I'm gonna stand up.
Yep.
Say thanks for the help. And I'm gonna shoot this rogue again.
Yep.
I'm done.
Oh no.
I'm done. Oh look, I rolled max again!
Well, 20's fucking us today, man.
Yep, I'm done.
Who is it that Francis always blamed it on? Or Bjorn at times? It guilt?
Yeah.
Fucking guilt.
Okay. Right. Well, there's no explanation needed on that one. Cade, back to you. What are you doing?
Well, I'm pretty much surrounded. What's the radius on my bombs?
15.
15. So it's got a 15-foot radius.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Thought you meant the distance. No, it's just one target.
That's just one target.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's not an.
I wish I could do one with a radius.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down swinging. I'm going to attack this one because that's the one that's nearest one I'm looking at. Come on.
Okay.
Do a double swing.
Okay.
This time it's just normal, no sneak.
So this is going to be more like a activation of the grenade and then just like rolling it at the feet rather than throwing it because of they're within 5 feet of you. You don't class.
Oh no, I'm using my daggers for this.
Oh, you're daggering. Okay, cool. You changed your mind. That's fine. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a hit. Who's this on?
This one. This is one that I'm nearest to looking at.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, damage roll. Thank you.
No, so
Ignore the sneak.
So 3 points.
So that's 4 points of damage.
You got dagger mastery.
Yep, and then my second attack.
That's also a hit. Okay.
5. So doing 9 points in total.
Right, this is your offhand, so it doesn't do as much damage. So I need to minus 2 from it, so you do 3 points. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so a couple of nice quick hits there. She's pretty much unable to do anything about it. What are you going to do now? Are you moving at all, or are you going to stay put?
I move, I incur 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks of opportunity.
Potentially, yeah.
I'm staying.
Okay.
And that's going to do my turn.
Alright, so the one that hit you, you hit is going to strike at you. She doesn't get advantage. 13, it's a fail. Next one up. Irie, your turn.
No, 13's a pass. I've only got 12 AC.
Oh. I thought you had higher than that. Are you sure?
No, I haven't repaired my armour.
What's your armour at now?
It's down to 1 point. I get 10 plus my armour value of plus 2. That's it.
You should have plus 2 for your dex, right?
Not adding my dex on. Oh no, my armour's completely gone, innit? I haven't repaired it, so yeah, it's just that plus my dex.
So you're not wearing any armour at all?
No, I haven't been able to repair it.
Alright, well, would you have wanted the armour that Livia got out of the chests? Or off of the Fallen, sorry? There's leather armour on them, and a skull cap. And skull cap needs to identify them, but the leather armour is fine.
Yeah, that would have been nice. a little late on that, so it is what it is.
Right, okay.
It is what it is.
So that's going to hit, isn't it? Okay, 4 points of slashing.
I'm down.
I thought as much.
Right, not move. Oh, there we go.
Okay. So. Yeah, why does it keep double pressing? Should be Ira. There we go. Ira, it's actually your turn. What do you want to do? Do you want to try to hit this one that's injured?
I'm gonna try.
At least you might be able to break away. Ah, there it is. That's what you wanted, right?
Little late, but
Little
you know.
late. Well, let's see what we can do. So.
Be the one on the left. Because I had axes coming into this.
So the left one.
This would be 4, 8, 10, 12.
Yeah, beautiful. Instantly goes down. She screams as you just sink your claws into her neck, pull them out, and just blood spats everywhere, all over the walls, tree, everything. Do you want to continue fighting, or would you like to GTFO? I'll give you some time to think about it, because this is a critical moment. So what's the plan here, Ira?
Not getting out of this alive. I can run, but they'll catch up. Mathematically speaking, because I can't dash this turn because I've had to attack. That's assuming the initial attack of opportunity doesn't get me first. But I may as well try.
The rogue that you are, or is currently facing you, and that you would now be facing, is unharmed.
I'm aware.
So I just want you to know that that's the case before you make a decision.
Oh, I'm gonna run.
You're legging it.
I'm just saying. I'm not getting out there.
Okay. Make your retreat.
Long live the king. Or queen in this case.
5.
13 misses. Right?
No.
No, it hits.
Oh, it hits. That's 5 points of slashing. How are we doing?
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40,
Yeah.
45. All I got.
Okay. What did you put your points in? Was it werewolf or was it lycanthropy?
Lycanthropy.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, so you went for the more... more damage. Okay. So, still a good head start on them. They all see you dart away out the corner of their eye. You've still got a bonus action if you want it.
Oh, yes. I will use the one bonus action that my wolf can do and swipe with my left claw at the air.
Okay. So, in which case... This one... Two... So this one darts around the wall over to this pond here and starts scrambling around this particular area looking for her weapon, which has sunk into the water. So that's going to be her turn doing that. 21. Oh, she's dead, so it doesn't matter about her. She can be removed. 18. So this one by Cade. Glances over the wall, watches as you are legging it away. Gives chase, and as she does so, she's screaming at the top of her voice. Where do you think you're going, dog? We're not finished here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She can only make it to there. She can see you, but she's just unable to reach you. You are too fast for her. That one. 5. This one can get close, but not quite close enough. Her injury is holding her back a little bit. This one is just not going to bother. she will... Yeah, she'll stay there. She's not bothered. One person has to stay behind and guard the entrance, so that's fine. She can do that. Next. Okay, moving on to Livia. Can you make your death save, please? Alright. So there's still some fight in you. You're not ready to go just yet. That's one pass. Cade, death save, please.
1 second.
No, so you're gonna...
That's a fail.
That's a fail. Yeah, you can feel the cold grip of death starting to take hold. The one that's next to you, Cade, is going to head over here, back towards... She's going to go back to where she was and take out some bandages and start healing herself. That'll do. That's going to be her turn done. Ira, back to you. So you've got two that are giving chase. One that seems to just be fumbling around inside the pond looking for a blade. And the rest are taking position back where they've been set to guard. And the other one is dead. So, what's your plan of attack here? Or non-attack?
Five, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
Nice. Let's see. Are you dropping your form at all, or are you keeping it?
Bring my form! I die if I drop my form!
That's not good then. Let's see.
I can't go through the fucking portal, can I?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can go through as a wolf. Your brain still works. So, in which case... However, the interesting thing is, next turn, the end of your turn, will be the last turn you've got in wolf form, I believe.
I've got one more.
You got one more? I knew it was... Alright, okay, I knew it was close to that.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah. As long as you get back to town, if it drops there, you'll be safe. People will help you.
Well, I can still dash this turn.
Yeah, of course you can.
So, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Yep. You're home sweet home. Right. We'll deal with that in a second. You basically fall through the waypoint on the other side of the camp, and a couple of the rogues rush to help you up. Although they're not sure why, because you're a big beast to them, but for some reason they seem to trust you. They haven't seen you in this form, but...
Well, the beast did come out of a portal where only the party have come through, so there might be some association there.
That's what I was thinking. That's what my angle was, is that the party activated it, and therefore anyone that's using it should be generally party-based. So, they do rush to help you. What are you doing? It's still your turn, technically.
Limping over to the campfire where I think Cash and Francis are still at,
Yeah.
coming out of wolf form
Yeah.
and falling unconscious
Okay.
because I can't communicate.
Well, they are also following you, and as soon as they see you fall, they catch you. As you turn from your beast form back into human form, they manage to catch you, and well, you don't know what they say because you are unconscious, but let's just say you're in good hands.
Hmm.
As for the other two, not so good. So these two are going to continue chasing, not knowing where the hell you've gone. 10, 15, 20, 30. They're looking around, seeing at the bodies of the slain beasts, but nowhere are you to be seen. That one. She's standing guard. Livia, back to you.
You need me to roll my save again?
Yes, please. Your second save.
12.
Nice, doing a good job. Yeah, really resilient.
It's not going to do anything, because I'll be stable in the field of corpses.
Alright, so... Cade.
Nope.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a pass, isn't it? 10 or up.
Yeah.
Pass.
It's weighted slightly in favor.
Yeah, it's 55-45 towards success.
So you're 1 and 1, and Livia's 2 and 0. Okay. Standing guard. Ira. We'll keep you in the turn order. So basically, you wake up. Or you come to, sorry, and you are in the presence of 2 of the rogues. One either side of you, and in front of you, or yeah, standing above you, is Akara with a herbal remedy salve that she has managed to whip up pretty quickly. What it's done is it's allowed you to stabilize and brought you back to 1 hit point.
That is a really powerful herbal remedy then. And I'm going to need more of that.
But that is it. There's no more.
Just healed me for 20 hit points.
Yeah, this is a kind of like a revival potion. It's gonna bring you back, but it's not going to heal you. So if it brings you back and you're in a bad situation, then it probably won't last long until you go down again. But as you are safe in the rogue encampment, and that the dome has now been established, you are generally going to be okay. So you are able to talk this turn and do what you would normally do as you come round. So what are you doing?
I'm grabbing Cash and Francis and I'm dragging their fucking asses through that goddamn waypoint and they can help me deal with this.
Okay. Right. In which case...
Well, what else can I do?
No,
Just leave them to die. Otherwise,
I totally agree. I totally agree. Well, on a very somber note, but possibly hopeful, we're gonna have to call it there. Because I've just seen the time. All I can do, guys, is apologise. I didn't want anything to happen like this, but it has. Trust me, it's not a good feeling.
I don't know. I kind of liked getting fucked in the ass.
I'm still streaming. Thank you.
That's the weirdest thing that comes out on your stream. Just be thankful. Look, it's white and pride, okay? Let me have this.
It's a stressful time.
It's pride here in Brighton, okay?
Francis isn't here. I know someone had to make up for the topics.
Yeah. If Francis was here, maybe it would have been a different story. Maybe he would be the one who's having heart attacks.
Well, I don't think if Francis was here, I wouldn't be uploading this to YouTube.
No, no.
That is a very true point.
There is, wow, the roles were seriously weighted. That was horrible.
Yeah, Mr. DM, sir, can you not toggle that DM favorite roles option, please? Like that just kind of fucks us.
Yeah, I'll remember to turn it off on next time.
No, you didn't.
No, I'll remember to turn it off next time.
Good.
Anyway, that's going to be the end of our session for now. It is a bit of a cliffhanger. Let's see if everyone's going to make it back or if we're going to lose one or two players next turn. I hope everyone's enjoyed it as best as they can. It's not been a happy experience for the players, I know, but hopefully the viewers have got a bit of a kick out of it. What can I say?
If I may.
You may.
Alright. For those of you watching on YouTube, if you enjoyed watching the DM raw dog us for 3.5 hours, don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
And on that note, I'm also going to be ending the stream. So thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I'm not going to be streaming next session, but I believe Ira might. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
I'll figure something out. Yeah.
We'll figure something out when it gets to that. But I will be back in a month, so that will be the 4th of September, and I'll be streaming that there again. There'll be other content streams other days, but that is the next Diablo stream that I'll be covering. Hope you enjoyed for today, and peace and butt grease.
Oh, feel free to join our Discord. Come join us and have a chat about the campaign if that's what you want to do. We're more than happy to have you all. Alright, bye for now.
One.